What is something about your country you're actually really proud of? Our ability to control water. The work the Dutch put in to make this land livable with the dam systems earns my respect. I'm from Iceland and I have to say that I'm super proud of its nature. I mean, it's definitely special and so unique. When Justin Bieber visited England, he said that based on the way he was treated, he would never come back. We did that. As an American, I am really proud of our national park system. There are so many amazing natural wonders in the United States, since we are, geographically, such a large country, and the national park system helps keep these wonders alive and available for anyone to visit. Places like Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, and the Grand Canyon are natural wonders. To non-Americans thinking of visiting the United States, skip the touristy places like Disney World or Hollywood. Instead, go visit the national parks. They are amazing. To Americans traveling the country, please do the same. Our country has so many gorgeous and pristine places to visit that aren't choked with millions of tourists, unbearable traffic, and pointless my name on a shot glass tchotchkes. Costa Rica. Our beautiful and varied landscapes, everything from tundra to rainforest to deserts. More than 25% of our land is protected by the government and is a refuge for all the animals and biodiversity on land and in the oceans. And around 99% of our energy comes from renewable sources. It's also a true democracy when it comes to voting. Our presidents aren't always that great, but at least we the people choose them directly. Scottish people are funny fuckers. We have a dark sense of humor even in the worst circumstances. As a Mexican, I have to admit that our government has gone to shit. But, we do have an amazing food culture. As an Aussie, our diverse land of deserts, rainforests, and bushland. The Australian outdoors is incredible. Austria. Don't need to drive/fly far away for some of the best skiing resorts in the world. Italy is art. There's art everywhere, literally. And we have sea, mountains, plains, hills, rock and sand, forests and cities, lakes, rivers, the old and the modern perfectly balancing together. I love Italy. On the other hand, I hate the typical Italian way of reasoning. I don't hate people, I hate ignorant people who don't keep up with the new. So, like, 3/4 of the politicians or people who are in power to make a change in general. Belgian here. We've got Spa-Francorchamps, fries, waffles, and proper chocolate. I've seen videos of people queuing in other countries and it makes me never want to leave the UK. I'm proud of Finland's great education system, landscapes and so many other great things. And with the recent events, I'm proud how the government has put in their best effort to seize the spreading of the COVID-19. New Zealand. Our current Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern. In her 30s, mother to a toddler, and has led our country through a mass shooting, a volcanic eruption, and pandemic with empathy and realism. She's real, she cares, and she is absolutely nailing running our awesome country. As an Aussie, I'm proud that when Burger King tried to expand out from America into Australia, we made them change their name to Hungry Jack's for all their stores in Australia because of one really small fish and chip shop that already had the name, Burger King. Russian literature probably. It serves as a great example of our natural ability to turn our suffering into art and base our national culture on it. As an American who travels a lot. Barbecue. Everywhere I go, people, mostly Europeans, talk shit about American food. And to be fair, we do have a pretty bad food culture. But not barbecue. I'm not talking grilling, over sweet sauces and all that. I'm talking proper, slow, wood-cooked barbecue. We take the toughest cuts of meat and turn them into absolute perfection. I think barbecue ribs, beef and pork, and brisket stand up to any other country's traditional meats. Brisket in particular. A perfect TX-style brisket doesn't hide behind anything. That is simply amazingly cooked meat. There is nothing pretentious about it. Some of the best are still cooked in repurposed equipment, handmade, cut up from scrap. Don't get me wrong. I love great food from all over. Traveling to eat is the thing that brings me the most joy. But good barbecue stands tall with the other great cuisines of the world. Indian. Yoga and food. I have made so many friends here on Reddit and my heart sparks with joy each time I hear them say they love Indian food. Chicken tandoori, palak paneer, naan, dal, dosa, sambar, jalebi, gulab jamun, and everything insanely delicious and mouth-watering that comes out of India. Also, yoga. I cannot the world of fitness exist without yoga. I'm not a health freak and quite lazy come to think about it. A lot of physical activities don't come close to the effect yoga has on my lazy ass bum. And I certainly don't mind seeing all these new iterations of yoga pop up around the world. There's beer yoga, biryani yoga, doga, and whatnot. It's fun to hear and read about it. Total joy sharing two things from my country with the world. USA is very big and in my opinion ideal for road trips. You can travel for hours and be in a new environment each day, all while being in the same country. You can maybe stop anywhere on the road and explore for a bit to find a secret spot that no one else will ever know about. Greece. Surprisingly great at handling this current coronavirus clusterfuck. I honestly didn't expect that the people here would take it seriously, but they have. As a Taiwanese, I'm super proud of our government actually doing their job to prevent the pandemic from spreading and donating medical masks to other countries at the same time. As a German, I am proud of our achievements in music, art, and technology, of made in Germany as a trademark of quality, of the way our country overcame its separation after the Cold War. And there are a lot of beautiful places here, the Alps in the south, pure white sanded beaches in the north. I'm from Aruba. I'm proud of the traditional music here as well as the multicultural culture. It also makes me happy that a very vast part of the population is multilingual and everyone, in general, is always kind. UK. Music. Radiohead, Joy Division, Autechre, Aphex Twin. I also come from and live in Salford. I think Joy Division are genuinely special, so I like that. There's also the Smiths is Manchester based and other bands people love, but I think just those four are really beyond everyone else. Outside of folks living in dictatorial and oppressive regimes, I'll never understand the cynicism and embarrassment that many people seem to feel about the concept of national pride. My country's, America, education system taught me mathematics, and how to read, and how to write. Its medical system, much demonized though it is, saved me from being stillborn, and saved my mom's life when she had a stroke. Its police system saved me from a rabid dog that tried to maul me as I was coming home one evening. Its parks nurtured my love of the outdoors and gave me somewhere to stretch my legs as well as my spirit. Its infrastructure has given me good roads, clean water, light, and the confidence to walk down the street safely my entire life. My country was the birthplace of jazz, one of my favorite musical genres, and the superhero, and 1,000 mechanical marvels. We had Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers, for crying out loud, which is pretty much the winning move in the contest of most wholesome people ever. Every country has problems, America included, but damn it if I'm not proud of my country all the same. We make the best pasties, and do you see anyone else with clotted cream? Also egalitarianism in the NHS and higher education. So since I haven't seen any comments about Egypt yet, here goes nothing. I'm proud of how the people help each other. It's just a very social country. I can just call across the street to my friend and he'll be down in 30 seconds. Even if all the government operations aren't effective, we still survive. Malaysia's healthcare services. The fact that we're usually considered a moderate developing country and yet our healthcare is among the best in the world, able to handle the current outbreak at a reasonable pace, is something I'm very proud of. Not to mention government healthcare facilities are super cheap too at a very affordable price for most working class people. Sri Lanka here. Beautiful nature, and a rich, long history. Except for a couple of political events, nothing really to not be proud of. In South Korea, the people of our nation came together and did a peaceful protest urging our corrupt president to step down. She stepped down and it made me proud to see that in our country the people's voice has power. How most of our country reacted to the biggest mass shooters in our time on the 22nd of July 2011. Instead of being angry, we shoved love for everyone. Norway. In Scotland it was voted one of the nicest countries in the world, but it also has the highest crime rate in a developed country. As a Ugandan, I'm proud that my country is one of the last bastions of wild silverback gorillas and one of the most culturally diverse nations for its size in the world. The food fucking is amazing too. Natives are really friendly, except if you're gay, but that's rapidly changing. I now live in the UK, but there's nothing quite like being under that tropical sun. As a Canadian, the relationship we have with the Dutch makes me proud. It's something to be proud of, but we don't flaunt or brag about it too much. A lot of Canadians don't even know about it. I like to think we are still the same country as we were back then and that we'd do it again if we could. I think the United States is beyond beautiful. I haven't even traveled much beyond up and down the East Coast, but every time I do I fall in love with how beautiful this land is. Bulgaria put in COVID-19 measures immediately, going into a state of emergency in early to mid-March, with work-from-home orders when possible and cops patrolling the streets to disperse groups. While other countries are dealing with mass death, shortages, and layoffs, here life has been pretty normal overall. There's only about 600 or so confirmed cases, which sounds like a lot, but it's nothing compared to the thousands per day that other European countries deal with. This is the one time in my lifetime in which I can legitimately claim that we did something better than most of Europe, and it's honestly a very surreal feeling. From the UK here, we make, hands down, the best mains plugs/sockets in the world. They're so safe. The ground pin is longer than the others, ensuring it's connected first, and the live/neutral pins are mostly plastic apart from the edge, meaning you can't plug halfway in and shock yourself. Also, sockets won't let you plug it in if there's no ground pin pushing it open. Our NHS. It gets a lot of hate, but usually, before coronavirus, you can ring your local doctors, get an appointment, and a prescription the same day. Break your leg? Free treatment. Acne? Free treatment. Hair loss? Free treatment. Cancer? Free treatment. You get the picture. They do incredible work and I am incredibly grateful for it. South Africa, the friendliness of the people and the diversity. With diversity comes diverse food. To list a few, biltong, drovers, coexister, and pap. Canada, overall I just love my Canadian brothers and sisters, it doesn't matter what country they originated from. Russia. Great programmers. But companies in the USA pay so much that most of them are now American programmers. But the online services in Russia are very cool. All banks have mobile apps, the government made a website and mobile app for government/health/tax services that are much more comfortable than I've expected, transport system, food delivery, anything has a website and mobile app. Also, there are hundreds of enthusiasts that use programming resources to create amazing services for people. Even some cities have mobile apps for reporting issues, receiving local news, etc. That's amazing. Here from Malaysia and 3 different races, Malay, Chinese, Indians, can live together in harmony. And because of the distinct races, there are a wide variety of traditional foods here from all races, which is something that I'm also very proud of. Our 7th president, Tun Dr. Mahathir, is one of the presidents that become president the 2nd time, and at that time he's 90. Pretty proud of this as well. In Sweden the word solidarity means multiple things: healthcare, free education, acceptable pensions, etc., but also how we as a society treat each other. The police force is both respected and respect. We're very considerate of other people and trust each other. Since most people are adequately well off in terms of financial independence, the need to commit a crime for economical reasons are drastically lower than for example, the US. For the entirety of our history, the United States has had a peaceful transition of power from one president to the next. Now some people say the Civil War breaks that, but that wasn't an administration refusing to give up power and leave. That was states attempting to leave the Union. Every single presidential administration we have had has peacefully abdicated their power to the next. Ireland. The first country to legalize gay marriage by popular vote. For a country that was once steeped in the grip of the Catholic Church, we have given them a firm fuck you for all the evils they propagated. To the Irish now, the protection of life and love does not have a price, regardless of who thinks otherwise. South Africa Triple Rugby World Cup winners. Braai, not barbecue but braai, tastes so good. Biltong, it's like American beef jerky but with a different taste and X100 better. Our wildlife, we have the Big Five and more. Table Mountain, she is a beauty. As an American I have always been proud of our revolution. It basically consisted of a bunch of farmers working with a slapdash military fighting back against the best military force in the world at the time. Not only fighting but winning to give us our independence and turn 13 colonies into 50 states. As an American, I love the entrepreneurial spirit that our country and its people embody. There's a general sense of if you can dream it, you can achieve it, And this sort of curiosity is encouraged in our culture has led to a lot of innovation. People from different cultures can often immediately see this, even, or especially, in the ways that people interact. Americans are often thought of as loud and rude, compared to many different foreign ideals, which I can totally understand, but it really is a place where the general zeitgeist encourages you to get shit done, be responsible for yourself, not go by the status quo. This leads to people speaking up for themselves, though not always politely, I'll definitely admit that. All that to say, I'm really glad that the messaging I was surrounded by growing up told me that I could be whatever I wanted to be, that I didn't have to follow anyone's set path, and that I was born capable of achieving greatness. After all, that's what the country was founded on, which feels really special. I am really proud of the small towns in the United States. You can literally know every single person in your town and have a barbecue whenever anyone pleases. It starts off with one person saying, "Hey dude, wanna have a barbecue tonight?" And your friend invited another person, and eventually it turns into a whole town event where people will bring buns and hot dogs and their own grills and sauces. Thank you for watching Reddit Space. Please subscribe if you love these Reddit stories.